Skateboarding Hall of Fame Awards Dinner and Induction Ceremony. And the purpose of the Skateboarding Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony is to honor historically important professional skateboarders for their dedication and contribution to the art form and the activity of skateboarding and our culture. We lost some skateboarding's great last year. Willie Winkles, Mike Weed, Ethan Miller, Matt Reason, Joey Brother, and of course, our favorite
Anyway, 1945, a couple things happened in July. The first atomic bomb went off at Alamogordo, New Mexico. Made a big bang, and a couple hours later, Jimmy Mahoney dropped out of the slot in Long Beach, California. Which would lead to the stunning and persuasive pleasure that I have to introduce the still alive and kicking. He's been in body casts. He's broken both his ankles on numerous occasions, arms, legs, head, blunt force, head traumas, etc. But he is walking alive as you or I. And he's approaching the stage, and he's going to get this done. Here he is, James Mahoney.
Thank you, Bird, my beautiful wife, who stayed by my side. My right and left arms, Bob Smitty Smith and Niall Jaime. Josh in the IASC, Todd at Skate Lab. Laura for lighting the fuse. Dan and Terry, Juice Magazine for letting me still scribble. I was super fortunate to be in the position to promote the sport of skateboarding when I started the U.S. Skateboard Association in '74. Then Skateboard Magazine. I didn't realize then the box that I was opening, but I tried to promote the sport in a professional and fair way. Yes. 1975 was the beginning of modern day skateboarding. We got the urethane wheel, seal bearing, and kicktail that hasn't changed in 40 years. The best part of this first era was that it was new, we were innocent, and it was really a lot of fun. Skateboarding wasn't a crime yet. Okay. I got to think up everything possible to do on a skateboard, and then got to do it with the help of Heineken, hash, and peanut butter cups. We have a large list of skateboarding first, and I'll just comment on a few. Our team rider and #1 cement scout, Jim Hyam, found the Mount Baldy pipeline. We were the first guys there, and it was unreal. Waldo Walkley was the first skateboarder documented to skate past vertical. Rest in peace. This photo has been published in over 16 publications since 1975, and they're still publishing it. We did the largest skateboard demo in history with Donnie Branker. Cal Jam 2, 400,000 people. And we haven't done that again since. I mean, that was nuts. We established the first world records for the sport at Signal Hill for speed. This was the first X game, for real. The barrel jump, barrel jump champion Tony Alva was the first skateboard pitcher in the Guinness Book of World Records. We produced the first bull riding, pipe riding, bank riding, wall riding titles, the first skateboard safety film emceed by Olympic gold medalist Rayford Johnson, on and on. I'll stop here for one little tidbit. They flew 20 of us back to New York to do the World Masters Invitational at the Nassau Coliseum, emceed by Ram linebacker Rosie Greer. When we were in the air about an hour, the people that could lie and pass drinks, you know, were getting pretty peppy, so out come the skateboards, and we were skateboarding up and down the aisles. Bruce Logan, when he's doing a nose wheelie with a beer in hand at 30,000 feet. I mean, this stuff goes on and on. The world's paved. So let's just go ride it. Thank you all so much. I've been a B student my whole life, but this is a fucking A.
In 1983, I was at the tracker office after I was scheduled to go back home. And Larry was in the office and Stacy Peralta was in the office. And Stacy saw me packing my bag to go back to college. I was 18. And he basically asked me a question. He said, are you going to school to learn what they want you to know, or are you going to school to learn what you want to know? And I said, I don't fucking know. I'm going to school. He goes back into the tracker building and Larry comes out and asked me to see my plane ticket, my return ticket home, and I show it to him. He looks at the jacket and tears it up, and then asks me if I want to work for Tracker. And I said, I guess I have to. I don't have any way to get home. So he basically told me to call my mom and dad and say, that's it. You work at Tracker, you live in California. So I spent the next 4 hours trying to figure out how I was going to do that. So I called home. My dad answered the phone. I said, is Mama home? He goes, yeah, she's here. What time's your plane get in? I gotta hurry up, let's go, where are you going? He had to drive 3 hours to go pick me up. And I'm like, I'm not coming home. He goes, what, plane's delayed? What's happening with that plane? I'm like, I moved to California, I have a job now. He said, you better have your black ass on that plane. I just put $25 in the tank. And get a full tank of $25 back then, you know? And he had it. He gave it to my mom, and she said, I guess you know what you're doing? And I said, I know what I'm doing. From that point on, I had 18 more years of education. And I just want to thank Larry, who gave me the chance, trusted in me, and told me all the stories about Gary and Dave and the couches. Lived with Larry and Lori for a while, and it was just incredible experience learning and dealing with all the people associated, the team riders, artists, Craig helping out, Peggy, everybody that gave me my education. I just wanted to thank Larry for that, and Dave and Larry, come on up, that's real.
This is awesome. Thank you, IASC and Skateboarding Hall of Fame. It's hard to believe. When we rode the first urethane wheels back in '73, you know, down those newly paved hills of La Costa, we just knew that there was the next evolutionary step had to be some wider trucks, some stronger trucks, some real sealed bearings, and I mean, we rode every setup there was and R&D'd it, and then went home and started working on some prototypes. We enjoyed every minute of the process. And while starting a business was always in the back of our minds, we probably would have been perfectly happy if we just ended up with a bunch of cool skateboards for us and our friends. But, gosh, we had no impact, or just what we would be making and that would have an impact on skateboarding. But anyways, we did start a business, and it raged in the good years, and we crashed in the bad years, and had a school of hard knocks and all that stuff. But no matter what happened, we never lost our passion and love for what we were doing, and making cool products and spreading them around the world. My partner Dave here
I really can't start thanking everybody by name, but I just got to say thank you very much for showing your appreciation for a lot of hard work we did for a lot of years. And I just got to say, once we got going, making these trucks and got so much good response to it, it just changed my life, because I knew what I was going to do every day for the next like 7 years. There was no question, and it really paid off. You know, we made some money and we had some fun. Thank you to the Hall of Fame for giving us this honor, and thanks for the very good evening as well.
This time I'd like to bring up my new partner, Max DeFore. Where's Max at? Max hails from Montreal, Canada. And he skated vert for Tracker in the 90s, and then went back to Canada where they got all those good maple trees and started woodchuck and started making skateboards. He makes decks for a lot of different brands today. And anyways, in 2009 we teamed up and merged Tracker and woodchuck and under the Pure Distribution banner. And today Max pretty much runs the whole show. I stay back in the workshop and make master patterns and molds and the Tracker book, I guess, right?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm really proud to be a part of the Tracker heritage, and for me it's been always a dream to be a part of what I'm doing right now, and Tracker for me is skateboarding, and I get to do it every day and work, so I couldn't be more stoked. Really happy. Thanks to Larry, thanks my wife, my kid, and everything, and this is great. Thank you.
Well, really proud to be up here and be an icon. Gosh, Larry Stevenson, Stasek, Bolster, Friedman, Grant Britton, Rich Novak, Fausto Vitello, and then tonight Jim O'Mahony and Steve will be up here in a few minutes. And anyways, it's a pretty cool deal. But you know, I gotta thank I got to really thank our staff and people. Gosh, we have, you know, here's our team managers. You know, Lance was first, and then Ridgway. He was there for 20 raging years. I mean, you know, besides Stacy, he's probably the most respected team manager in the industry. And maybe not besides Stacy, go along with Stacy. How's that? Anyways, gosh, you know, I just like, I got some of our old staff in the house here. We got artists. Chuck Edwall was our first artist. Chuck made some iconic logos. And Don, he's here. Don was our artist the rest of the 70s. And then we had Jamie Briggs, GSD, Craig Stesic. Where's Craig? You sing to him tonight. They all played in our pen for a while. Well, along, you know, we had a lot of team captains back then. Ridgway needed help. We had Sarge Carter and Keith Lenhart, Mark Costa, Julio De La Cruz, Tracker Dan Santoven. Buddy Carr came out from Ohio. Oh man, they're giving me the hook. I don't hear the elevator music. We gotta wrap it up. What's up? There it is. Buddy Carr, stand up. Where are you at? Buddy Carr, drown those Mack trucks that you cherish so much. How about everybody that ever rode a tractor stand up and give us a high? Where's Glenn?
He is always smiling and making sure everyone around him feels good and is taken care of. He truly is one of skateboarding's greatest icons. So could I please have Miss Steve Van Doren Batson to the stage. Give it up for Christy.
As I look around to all my friends and family tonight, I have the honor of speaking to you about my dad, Mr. Steve Van Doren. What you might not know about me is, growing up, even in high school, I thought I had the coolest dad. But now, as he's getting inducted tonight, among all you legends, I have the coolest dad ever. Dad, you're the most humble, loyal, dedicated person I know. And I'm so proud of everything that you've accomplished. And every day, as I work by your side at Vans, I see you treat people with care and respect. Perfect analogy for your dad is, you are the in-and-out secret sauce of Vans. As your daughter, I've grown up in this crazy industry. I've seen your love for the sport, how you contributed to its growth, and how you've been a father to all of us here tonight. So with that, let me introduce one of my skateboard brothers, Mr. Tony Alva, to share his thoughts.
Wow. The skateboarders, we all call Steve Van Doren the ambassador of fun, and it's pretty obvious why. He definitely is one of the most just prominent examples of how to be of service. And it's come through running a multi-million-dollar business into a multi-billion-dollar business that gives back, and that's why. Because what it does is it creates this organic evolution that brings us wealth and brings us prosperity. And that's one of the things that Steve has taught me, is he's given us skateboarders longevity, and a lot of us are old school guys that probably would have had careers that ended quite a while ago if it wasn't for our affiliation with the Van Doren family. I've known Chrissy since she was a little girl, watched her grow up. I know Steve's father. He's an amazing, like, just example of like why Steve is the way Steve is, because of the way he was brought up. Steve was brought up in good stock. We're Dutch. Steve and I both share Dutch heritage. Not to get racist or religious about anything here, but I'm just telling you, you know, if it's not Dutch, it ain't much. That's what Steve and I say. The Mexican side of my family can take a back seat for right now. I still love you, Caballero. But it's just great, you know, the sense of humor. You can see how, you know, Christy is definitely like part of, like almost an appendage to Steve, and our whole team of guys that are in the middle here. You know, we have Chopper and Johnny Layton. We've got our boy, you know, Bob Provost. I gotta give props to where, you know, it's due, because we got a badass team outside of even the skateboarding team. If you haven't seen Propeller yet, you better go see it, because you haven't seen skateboarding until you've seen that video. The other thing I would just like to say is Steve's beautiful wife. She's an amazing support. She's kept him healthy and happy. And I've just watched, you know, this whole thing evolve to where I'm a part of it, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. There's two really important things that I've learned from being a professional skateboarder. And that you don't last, you ain't going nowhere unless you learn how to be professional off the board as well as on the board. And the work ethic that comes with the Van Doren family heritage and my relationship in being a part of that team is that I've learned how to be professional off the board. And therefore, God grants me with another day as a professional skateboarder and as a sober member of the skateboard community. So, Steve loved me, believed in me, and waited for the transformation, but the transformation that has really happened in my life is that I've had the opportunity to be a part of Steve's life and to be basically like joined at the hip with like a true mentor. And so I'd like to introduce Steve Van Doren.
When I look at icons and I get to join them, it's just really unbelievable. My father started a company. I got to grow up with it. In 1970s, middle of 1970s, everybody in this room was tied into skateboarding adopted vans. When I think of me, I think of vans, because that's what I've done for 49 years. We love what we do. You guys adopted us. In 2015, we're still supporting everybody in this fucking room. We care about you. We love you. You're part of our family. We're always there to help. I want to thank, first of all, my family. My brothers and sisters are here right over this table here. My brother Paul, my sister Kathy, my sister Cheryl, my sister Jamie's in Oklahoma, couldn't make it. And my brother and my sister-in-laws, and then my wife for 39 years, Susan. Been put up with me for 39 years. Get up, Susan. That's my other wife. She lets me go away on trips trying to help skateboarding, but I'm honored to be able to have a great daughter, and now I have a great grandson and a great son-in-law. A great friend like Tony Alva, who we've traveled around the world. But Christian Sori, Steve Caballero, Tony, we joined the Young Guns and rolled around the world to show Propeller off and get to see people that love skateboarding all over Europe, all over Asia, all over South America, and here in the United States. It's so rewarding. My family at Vans, all the guys and girls that work with us, because the one thing is, I get to do all the fun things for the last 15 years. The early days I had to run our retail division, but the last 15 or 20 years I'm an ambassador. And I get to go because those guys are working their rear ends off at the company, making sure that we make good product. We bring it to all the stores that are around there. I'm proud that our stores do sell all the products that everybody makes in here. Boards, decks, wheels, everything, trying to help support. Thank you very much. Today at the IASC Summit, which we get together once a year for 2 days, I was really inspired, like Adopt Skateboarding, helping kids next up. And you know, bringing back to all of the different things that you forget about that people are doing out there. And I had 2 special guests tonight that I asked to come. And I wanted these 2 ladies to stand up because they've been doing great things in skateboarding for the last 30 plus years. I want to bring up, ask them to stand up, Gail Webb. And Sonia Capilano, who runs Plaza for skateboarding. That's why I do what I do, because I see people like her, people like Adaptive Skateboarders, people like Next Up, Bridge, all these great people in skateboarding. Come here, ladies, come over here. I want you to take a bow with me. These 2 ladies here have been working their hearts out for kids, young skaters. Castle, I was excited to hear Christian's son got to go to a cast event a couple of weeks ago with Gail Webb. We had people like Omar and Tony Hahn, everybody, all over the world. And that's why I have passion. I speak to ladies like this and all the great things that everybody out there that we're one big great family. And from myself, I'm honored tonight. Thank you very much. Let's get on with this night. See the real hero.
So each year, this is how it works. The ballots are emailed out to over 1,000 skateboarders, manufacturers, and other influential people in the action sports industry. You are the people who have voted, and the results are in. Give it up for DUANE Peters and Clash Peters.
When I was his age, please have some, thank you. I learned a little song. It was a Maple Bowl. It was written on the bowl. 19th and Maple Street, 1976, and I still remember that song. I was a little bit older than you, actually. I was about 15. But one of my best, Casey Jones, he was a son of a bitch. Drove his train to a whorehouse ditch. Bet 50 ladies he could fuck them all. Bet 48, fuck 42. He drank some whiskey for the other 2. Casey Jones, he got wind of hell. Fuck the devil's wife until it walked and swell. 2 little devils ran up the wall, saying, "Pow, get rid of him before he fucks us all." Thank you very much. I love you all.
Not being bad as DUANE's. Hey, what the fuck? I don't know if Larry Baldwin made this or not. I don't think so. Wish he did. No. Anyway, I'd like to thank people that made skateboarding grad to like follow. Like when you see photographs. Dave Andrix. Chris Scoble. Thanks, Bryce. Thank Gordon Smith, Tracker, all that shit, man.
She's a multiple X Games gold medalist in vert, as well as a gold medalist at the X Games in the half pipe and snowboarding. She has won over 16 professional competition titles, including X Games, the Pro Tech Pool Party, Advanced Triple Crown, Slam City Jam, and the Soul Bowl. She has destroyed so many barriers for professional women skateboarding. The list is way too long to read here, up here tonight. But I will say this, she's the first female skateboarder to have her own signature shoe. She's a good friend of mine, and I will never forget the time. And Tony, I think you might remember this. I'll tell you the story. Tony and I went to skate the Basic Bowl. He was in 95 or 96. I got there, the pool was tilted, all gnarly, upside down, kind of just overheard. Do you remember that? We were skating now? And CB shows up and just tears us apart. I'm like, she's doing inverts and super huge airs and all this stuff, and I'm like, Tony, do you realize this is the day that a girl is skateboarding better than us in the pool? I kid you not, that is the truth. And Tony looked at me and he said, no, she's not. No, she's not, DH. And he just proceeded to shred. True story. So, to induct CARA-BETH Burnside into the 2015 Skateboarding Hall of Fame, please help me welcome to the stage a man who really needs no introduction at all, other than one of my all-time favorite skateboarders ever, the 2013 Hall of Famer, Mr. Christian Masoy.
How you guys doing? I met CARA-BETH at Marina Del Rey Skate Park. And, coming soon. I mean, we were what, 12 years old, and she was already ripping. And I just remember being so intimidated, just like DH and TA were, when they saw her, because it was like so insane to actually watch a girl. Because I grew up at Marina, there was girls, I grew up, girls were there, all the girls were there, ripping. And I was like, these girls are shredding, but then CARA-BETH came in, and she was like doing tricks like he said, proper. Backside airs, better than a lot of you guys in this room. And you guys are like pros, right? And for me, as a little guy, I was like so inspired by a girl that shredded so hard that it made me just like be stoked to skateboard. And CB was shredding. She's not only shredded at skateboarding, but she's shredded in snowboarding as well. Come on, right? She's multi-talented. She's not only shredded it, but she's got gold medals. She placed 4th place in the Olympics. Come on, give it up.
I found skateboarding when I was maybe 10 years old, and I loved it, but no girls ever were skating until I was skating at a roller rink, and Big O Skate Park opened, and they were having a grand opening, and there were some girls there shredding and doing frontside grinds and keyholes, and I was, what is going on? I ditched those roller skates, and the next day got a skateboard. Know how important it is for girls to have role models and see other girls do something that they want to do too, and it's skateboarding, and it's not just for guys, because girls can do it and we've all seen that. And you know, I have to say my parents were very supportive growing up, and my dad bought me the summer pass at Big O Skate Park, and I was there every day. Like, you could not get me to go home. And you know, it was a great thing to have your parents behind you. And you know, from there I met DUANE Peters, and he instilled in me the crazy skate, you do or die, you skate or die, and you take the slam and you get up and you do it, girl. And DUANE, I love you for that. He was constantly there supporting me and always treating me like a princess, but making me skate hard and just, you know, hold it down and not be crying about anything. And I have that DUANE Peters in me for life. Thank you, DUANE. You know, another person, when I was skating Big O, I met Gail Webb, skateboarding mom. We all know who she is. You know, get high on sports, not drugs. And I did tons of demos for Gail a long time, along with bands, and supporting me and making a little bit of money at these demos. So thank you, Gail, for she just supported me and made me feel okay for skating, because after the girls stopped skating, there wasn't anybody skating, and I was the only girl for a long time, and it was hard, but I love skateboarding, and I just skated. I was just, you know, so there's, you know, just being able to go do a demo and make some money, and then Steve Van Doren's always there and throwing me some extra cash because he helped me out for a long time. Thank you, Steve Van Doren. The skate park's closed, a lot of you know, because they got sued and they couldn't keep afloat because people would sue them because their kid broke their arm, or they closed shop because they didn't want to get sued. And I went to school at UC Davis, and I started skating when I found some guys that were skating some quarter pipes and ramps, and it was awesome. And I was like, I'm skating full time. I live up my Lake Tahoe, and then I got into snowboarding. And I was able to snowboard and make a living because I wanted to skate, but it was just really hard for me to be a pro skater, and I couldn't do what the guys were doing as far as travel goes, and that's what I wanted to do. So I even competed with the guys for a while just to push my own levels, because I didn't have any other girls pushing me. I just pushed myself just for the love of what I love to do. Thought, man, I'm going to make some money snowboarding so I can go skate, you know? So, me and Jen O'Brien had a joke about it for a long time, like, you know, we were going to make a video and we'd be driving down the road and chuck the snowboarding stuff out the door, like, as we were driving down the mountain. But it was cool when I met Jen O'Brien and Jody McDonald, because they were my posse for a long time. And you guys know, rolled around together. You know, I had my sponsors here and there, and Vans was always backing me up. And you know, if I ever needed a little help here and there, before I even had a shoe, Steve Van Doren was always there to, you know, help me out. You know? It was really cool. Everyone supported me. And, you know, I didn't have any money. I just made it happen in snowboarding because I wanted to skate. And I think all my sponsors, sorry I'm getting so emotional, but I love
All I really want to say about John are the toughest, most dedicated dudes I've ever been around. To the bone, hard, determined, like can't
won't, that's pretty much, he's can and will. So all I really got to say about John is that there's no one tougher that I know and more humble and dedicated as a friend and person. Yeah, John!
I want to say thank you to Fausto Vitello, Jeff Clint, Tommy Guerrero, Jim Debo, Julian Stranger,